everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Moon Knight Episode 2. I'll start with no spoilers, and then we'll get into spoilers. You'll get plenty of warning. Um, but yeah, I was hesitant to do videos every week for the review, but it's only 6 episodes, and I'm really enjoying it, so that kind of tips my hand a little bit. But I really enjoyed Episode 2. I think we still have a really cool continuation of everything that was set up in the first episode. We also have a deeper exploration as to Steven's character, Mark's character, their relationship with each other. And to me, although this doesn't feel like any story that I've read in the comic books, per se, it still feels like it's capturing the voice, or in this case, the voices of the characters in Moon Knight. One of the big standouts for me is also Khonshu. I don't think I've ever seen his presence so like into the forefront of a story like this, which is really cool. Episode 2 has a lot of surprises, a lot of action, and just very cool scenes. I think Ethan Hawke as Arthur Harrow as the villain, this avatar for Emmett, or yeah, just really cool stuff. I do think stuff's building up to be more. We keep seeing more of the magical and mystical side of things, so that's really cool. Yeah, I don't have any complaints. I think the episodes are just long enough to give us a good story. The story's moving quite a lot, like it's moving at a good pace. So I understand why we can really get this covered in 6 episodes. That was one of my big concerns at the beginning. That like, are we gonna get a really full story? But and then Oscar Isaac, so good. Like I said, Ethan Hawke, so good. Just really good to see him work together on the screen. The design of the costumes is amazing, and just I really like the setting of where we are at the moment. So yeah, very cool stuff. I know in the trailers we've seen that we'll probably change the setting soon, but so far the story's been compelling enough for me to like really enjoy. The show's funny. The show, like, the character of Stephen Grant. Um, I don't know. He's really endearing to me. I just think I don't know that it would work with people that don't have Isaac's charisma. I think that really helps. That's a big part of it for sure. So very much enjoyed this episode again. Highly recommend. This is perfect Moon Knight for anybody that's never read anything in the comics too. Like, I think it's rare that Marvel really captures the essence of like the other show I can think of that's kind of like this is ever since Daredevil, like they really were able to kind of bring you into that world, even if you knew nothing about Daredevil. That kind of feels the same way with Moon Knight, where there's not all this continuity, there's not all this MCU baggage that's coming with it. Maybe in the future they'll tie it along to a bigger story. Who knows? I would definitely love to see Moon Knight fighting along some of the other heroes that we are slated to see, like Blade. Maybe have the Punisher come back. Like, I really like when Moon Knight and the Punisher kind of get together. Um, the last thing I'll say is that this show is really good at moving between genres of like an action adventure, a comedy, even kind of a horror. Like, this episode really has it all. So very much enjoyable. So that was the spoiler-free part. I will get into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So if you haven't seen the episode, feel free to pause the video, leave a like, subscribe, and then come back and check out the rest of the video where I'll be talking about more spoilers of the episode. All right, so this episode was a big blowout between Mark and Steven. Things finally come to a front. Steven finally goes over to figure out what that locker, that key for the locker was, and finds out that Mark is a mercenary. Mark Spector, he finds out his last name. They have a conversation. I love the conversations they have in the mirrors. I think it's really cool. It's just a really interesting effect. And we finally get to meet Layla in person, which is really weird because I'm familiar with Layla being a love interest in the comics, but I wasn't sure what they were gonna do with her here. So in this case, she is Spectre's wife, um, which maybe new, maybe not. Maybe they're married in the comics. I don't think I've read enough stuff with Layla in it. um, but Steven trying to explain everything to Layla, like, it's deranged because like we wouldn't like, I'm watching that stuff and we don't even, like, we don't even know what's real, right? We don't even know what the unreliable narrator. One really fun thing they did is when they were looking at the footage from the museum from the night before, the jackals, they're not captured on the video. So Steven really looked like he was just doing all that stuff all by himself, all that big mess that he caused. So and then we have Arthur Harrow coming back, looking for the scarab. We find out that Layla and Mark had been working to get the scarab away from her, from Harrow and from his disciples and anybody that wants to bring back Emmett, because she really is the threat. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of Khonshu on the show. Like I'm talking about, like he's always there, kind of lurking in the shadows. We learned that Harrow was a previous Avatar. At least that's what he's telling Steven. It may be a lie. I don't really know what to believe really when it comes to Arthur Harrow. But Ethan Hawke is so good at just doing it that I'm just like, yeah, man, sure, let's go. Yeah, there was a lot of action. We do get to see. This is the part where I think it'll be a little bit more split for some of the comic book readers. We do get to see Mr. Knight, which is really cool. Like it's really fun to see the live action suit. The way he's brought in may may not be everyone's favorite. I think it's an interesting approach, to bring him as he is the avatar of Khonshu when Steven is in control of the body. So under the Mr. Knight persona is Steven, whereas under the Moon Knight persona is Mark Spector. And I think they're gonna reach a good medium towards the end, but here, because Steven's kind of a dweeb, it feels like they're kind of poking fun at the Mr. Knight character. I don't think that's the case, because he still does have the powers and the strength, and like he's still the Fist of Khonshu. He's just being managed by Steven, who is a more docile personality than Mark. So we'll see. I haven't really looked online for any of the discourse, but I think that's the only thing that may split the fans of Moon Knight, because in the books, Mr. Knight is kind of just a overall badass and also kind of a psychopath sometimes. So it's a really interesting change. But I'm on board with the story. Um, we do end this episode finally going to Egypt, which I'm looking forward to. It looks great. So yeah, this was another fun episode. As always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll keep doing these on a weekly basis, and definitely we'll talk more about this on the live with the rest of the guys. So let us know down in the comments. Maybe I'll bring up some of your comments during our live show. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, TV recaps, trailer reactions, movie reviews, all that good stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.